The Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, Lydia Al-Hassan, is charging the Ghana Water Company Limited to deliver water in tankers to several communities in Accra facing supply challenges. The company has attributed the supply challenges to a major pipe burst in Dodowa, which distributes water to affected communities. Now, during a visit to the site of the burst pipe, the furious minister asked the company to temporarily get these communities water as they work to fix the challenge. Bikwa Asante has more in this report.
Some communities in the Greater Accra region have been experiencing water shortages because this pipe here in Dodowa was burst. And the Ghana Water Company Limited has been assuring the Minister for Water and Sanitation that all resources are at hand to fix this situation. In fact, as we speak, this specific tank and the pipe has been fitted, and they're just waiting for a few minutes to try and get water to come through it, so that so many communities in the Greater Accra region and other parts that have been experiencing water shortages can get water.
In fact, the situation as we have at hand is completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. We must respect our consumers. At least give them information when there are incidents such as this. They must be the first to know this is the situation we are going through, and these are the measures that we are putting in place to ensure that the situation or we resolve the issues. At least if we give them time, we give them days, then they're also prepared. We don't just leave them without informing them. If we do that, then we are disrespecting them. So they have assured me now that by close of the day, the situation would be resolved. As you can see, the pump that is causing or that caused the problem has been replaced. So by close of day, they will finish, and then tomorrow morning, this evening through to tomorrow morning, water that is life that we need will start flowing from the pipes of the affected areas.
Ahead of that, the minister has also been directing the Ghana Water Company Limited to ensure that all these communities that have these challenges get tankers together with national security to supply to them. As you work to resolve the situation, is there any directive to support some of these communities with water tankers, national security, Ghana Water Company Limited?
So I have just directed Ghana Water to provide water to all the communities that have been affected. So this afternoon, by close of day, all the communities, Ghana Water is providing tankers to give them water. National security will support in that regard. I have also called on NADMO to come on board to ensure that we get water.
The minister is also the Member of Parliament for Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency here in the Greater Accra region. And prior to becoming the Minister of State in charge of water resources and all these issues, she had also been undertaking some water projects in the constituencies to support her people. And all those projects are now coming on stream to support as these challenges persist in parts of Accra.
Minister for Water Resources for Ghana, not just for Ayawaso West, which is my constituency. But if you want to know what I have done in my constituency, these are interventions that I did before becoming the minister. In almost all the electoral areas, there are boreholes that have been that are in place. I mean, mechanized borehole with poly tanks that the constituents use for free. So these are boreholes that across all the electoral areas. If you talk of North Legon, where the population there is huge, there are two major boreholes that are in place. Legon Campus, even Legon Campus, there are boreholes in place. Jolu, Mimpasam, Abochiman, Shiashi, even airport residential area, Roman Ridge, almost all the areas, we have done intervention that supports my constituents. And as a minister, together with the water resource community water and sanitation, we are also providing boreholes across the country. So yes, Ghana Water is to ensure that water goes through our pipes.
But the directive and the assurances that have now come in from both the minister and the Ghana Water Company Limited is that in the next 24 hours or in the next few days, the water challenge in the Greater Accra region is going to be fixed. Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante, Dodowa here in Accra.
Well, let's speak now to the Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Water Company, Stanley Marte. Thank you for your time here on Newsdesk. You pledged that within the next 24 hours, the issue regarding the lack of water in affected communities would be addressed. Has that been resolved?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. 2 hours after the minister's visit, we had completed the repairs of the pipelines and all the challenges on the pipeline. So by 6 p.m. Yesterday in the evening, we had started production and pumping into the Dodowa booster station and also into the northeastern part of the metropolis. So as I speak, the problem is resolved. And I'm proud to the minister's visit. We had also started pumping water from our Tema booster station into the Ponglo booster station, bypassing the Dodowa booster station, so we can send water into the Ridge area, Airport Residential area, Kanda, Osu, La, and all the surrounding communities. So the Dodowa booster station coming on board yesterday, Madina, Adenta, Oyarifa, Hacho, and all surrounding communities around that enclave have also started getting water. This morning, per our monitoring program, we realized that most of these areas that I've mentioned are getting water and even at high pressures. We are expecting that barring any unforeseen circumstances, all that the areas should be stabilized by close of day today. So we are doing a lot of work on the ground to ensure that everything is normalized. So we'll first of all apologize to our customers and our consumers for the inconvenience caused. But accidents are bound to happen. I mean, it's just happened. And if it's happened, we need to shut down to have the pipeline repaired. And that's exactly what we did and have done. As I speak, the situation is coming back to normal, and we are hoping that by close of day, everything should be okay. Now, the other aspect is that we are working on a demand water management, or what we call the rationing, and it's still ongoing. So those who are supposed to receive water today, Wednesday, will still have water. Those who are supposed to receive water from Thursday to Friday within our enclave are going to get their water from Wednesday to between now and the weekend. So we are hopeful that by Sunday, all other areas within that enclave should have access to water. Thank you.
But you say most, and I take note of that, most of the affected areas, not all the affected areas. So in your assessment, what areas is yet to receive water? Because you just make mention that you're rationing water to some of these areas.
Yes, I'm being very diplomatic with the use of the grammar, and that is why I have used most, because pipelines or water flow through pipelines is not as, let's say, power on our electricity grid. Now, with power, the moment it is switched on, within the shortest time possible, every place is littered. But with water, it takes time to flow through our pipelines, and it goes at a certain speed, which is far lower or just about the speed of a bicycle. Okay, so it takes a bit of time. Now, the pipelines were up for about 48 hours. It's an indication that all pipelines have been depleted of water, and that even people's reservoirs or receptacles in their homes have mostly been depleted. So definitely everybody will have to fill in his or his receptacle, and then while the pipeline moves slowly into the pipeline to get charged. So it will take a bit of time. So I'm just being very cautious with the use of my grammar, and that is why I use most. Okay, so but I'm hopeful that by Sunday every area should be okay. Everything should normalize, and we are the ground monitoring. So everybody must be rest assured. Water is in the pipeline, and it will get into their homes very soon.
You just highlighted a bigger problem. Why are we rationing water supply?
We are rationing water because of the gap between demand and supply. Now, with our treatment plants, we are unable to meet the demand in Accra. So the only way to bridge the gap is to put in place a demand water management. Okay, what we have termed rationing, such that we'll push the some volume of water into particular areas at a certain time, and then after a certain period we shift into other areas, so that at least we distribute the little water in the system equitably for everybody to have access. If you want to push the water without any demand program or any rationing program, it means some areas, by virtue of their location, will get the water, and some other areas will not get at all, and that will be unfair. So that is why we are managing with the rationing program, so that there will be an equitable distribution within the system. This we have been running for a very long time, and there hasn't been any challenge. We have been encouraging all customers to cultivate the culture of storing water, and if you have receptacles where you store water, you will get enough water to survive on when the tap is not flowing. Currently in Accra, everybody gets water averagely 4 days in a week, and we think that is enough for everybody to manage whilst water is not flowing through the taps. There are a lot of projects and programs underway, and we are hoping that everything goes through very well, and then we can bridge that gap in terms of the supply, so that everybody can have water 24/7. But for now, we need to do the rationing program to be fair to everybody within the metropolis.
I'm quite
Thank you.
interested in the programs that you're speaking of that are in place to bridge this gap, because I would like you to also paint a picture for me. What's the actual gap? Give me specifics. How much are we demanding for, and how much can you supply? Then let me understand the program that you're putting in place and how soon you'll be rolling it out.
So currently in Accra, we are producing around 120 million gallons of water a day, and the demand is around 170 million gallons on daily basis. So there's a gap of about 40 to 50 million gallons of water, and that is no joke at all. Okay, and for us to bridge that gap, we need to build a new treatment plant, or we expand the existing treatment plant to enable us get the 50 million gallons of water. Whilst we're expanding, we need to lay more new transmission lines, new distribution lines, so that it will get to all the areas that needs water. You also bear with me that Greater Accra is expanding at a very fast rate. Okay, people are not following the development plans within the region. So a lot of people put up structures without recourse to the development plans of that area. When they are done with their development, then they start demanding for water. That is not how town and country is planned, and that is not how things work. But people are just infringing on our laws, and then they put the pressure on the institutions. Now, as human beings, everybody demands water. So we just gloss over those ones and ensure that they have water. But if we have to follow the development plan the way they should, then Ghana Water Company Limited hasn't done anything wrong at all. We are doing our very best to ensure that everybody has access to water. Thank you.
So you say there's a need to either build a new treatment plant or expand the existing one. Is that the program you are rolling out right now? Is that what government is doing as we speak?
Exactly, as I speak. Now, there's a program to expand both Wija and Kpong. Now, in Kpong, we're expecting the phase 2 of the China Jejuba plant to give us some additional 40 to 80 million gallons of water. And then when Wija is also expanded, because the raw water is available, it is just the treatment plant that is not. So when we get between 40 and 50 million gallons of water from the phase 2 of the China Jesubo plant, and then we get the new treatment plant built as an expansion of the Wager treatment plant, then we should be getting some additional 100 million gallons of water, which should be enough to serve the entire population of Accra. The other aspect would be to lay new transmission lines to carry the water that these expansions will bring on board. And when that is also done, then we'll be able to serve all areas 24/7. And it's in the pipeline, and we are working seriously towards that. We are sure that soon there'll be a sword cutting ceremony so that the project can begin.
When you say soon, how soon? Can you give me specifics? Before the end of this year?
It's impossible for me to give timelines because we all know the situation in which we find ourselves now. So some due diligence will have to be done, and we have to ensure that the proper due diligence is done and is laid out before the project commences. Besides, there are a lot of processes that we need to do. The project will come to Ghana Water, it will go to our ministry, or ministry to Ministry of Finance back to Ministry of Sanitation, back to Ghana Water, to Parliament, to Cabinet. It's a whole there's the process on its own. And
So
we're in the process.
the process hasn't even been triggered. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm saying that
it's still at the formative stages.
I'm just showing you the process. And sometimes it takes more than 2 years to complete. But due diligence will have to be done. You know our system, and everybody wants to do things right. Okay? It's not like anybody comes to say that I have a facility to build you a treatment plant and say, okay, go ahead and do it. No. It goes through a stringent process to ensure that everything goes well for the sake of posterity. So please, it's in the pipeline, and like I said, very soon we'll see something being done. Thank you.
Thank you, Stanley Marte, for speaking to us here on News X. He is Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Water Company.